Sup YouTubers, this is Tim Yugioh 2 here. Today I'm with Delaney, rapidly becoming one of the UK's best players, who won the Dudley Regional on the 18th of January. And here's his Qliphort deck profile.
Okay, so not much has changed in the new set in terms of monster lineup. Cards. I still run free carrier. I'm not going to space too much. That's an 80 stick when normal summon without tributing. Bounces a monster when it's tributed. Helix, like a clone of carrier. It's a scale 9. 18 stick when normal summon without tributing. When tributed at all, it pops one drop card on the field. Free scout. Like art and soul of the deck, like you need to play 3 of this card. You need, like, in fact, not only do you play 3 of this card and have to, you play cards that search this card, so you can land turn 1, get your search. This card's so good that every deck siding either 2 to 3 Spell Shattering Arrow or 2 to 3 Fairy Wind, depending on what the deck is, just to get rid of this card because it gains too much advantage. Card's very, very good, definitely free off. So we're playing 2 disc. I was playing 3 disc, but with new cards coming out, I cut it down to 2. Because this isn't a win condition anymore. It's a win condition that can kind of fall into place and you can win with it, but you don't really plan for this anymore like you would. Instead, you play 2 stealth, because this means you can get a tempo on the game. You don't need to kill them in one big burst, or you can do stuff like with this. Like, if you contribute a Helix and a carrier in this, you're bouncing / popping 3 cards on the field that turn. You can bounce your scout back and play a scout. They can't respond to this effect, so it's like super volley. So that's really, really good. It's also level 8, so the only way to beat this in the mirror match if you land this is to kill it with spell or trap, or stealth the other stealth basically. And a new addition to the deck is Qliphort Monolith. It's the reason why Ragnar Zero isn't as good as it was, because you can make your scale and pendulum 2 monsters now without having to worry about one of them getting killed by Ragnar Zero. It's like Super Rejuvenation. It draws your cards in the end phase, equals the number of tributed Qliphort monsters that are tributed for a tribute summon this turn. This card's kind of cute. Like, I'd only run 1. If you've got it, it's great. If it gets outed, you don't really care, because if they're outing this and not outing the scout, it just kind of sits there and just gives you back advantage. It's just a great card. It's also a 2/4 stick if it does get destroyed, so you can pendulum it back and make it 2/7. Onto the spells. We run Free Sacrifice. Arguably one of the best spells in the deck that doesn't search scout first turn. It's probably this card, because it stops your monster being destroyed battle. It counts the monster it's equipped to as 2 tributes if you tribute someone for a Qliphort. And it also, when it's sent to the graveyard, it searches your card, which lets you OTK, fix bad hands. You can even MST this on your turn 1 if you're going first to ensure your scout search. The card's just very, very good. I wouldn't play any less than 3. Free Summoners Art, because this you can search you search scout or Qliphort Monolith, name change. Monolith. Opening up double this and like a stealth sacrifice of the monster, which is like a nut draw, lets you draw draw a card in your end phase, search a second scout in case someone gets blown up, and gives you a second scout search as a self bounce. Card's very, very, very good for obvious reasons. It's a lot better now we've got another target as well. Free Mystical Space Typhoon. Just so in case I play the mirror, and I wouldn't play less than 3 in any deck at the moment, because if playing Burning Abyss you can still like have outs in the main deck to scout. You can have in Qliphort it's main deck outs to floodgate cards, and obviously the mirror match to out the scout, and it's good against rogue decks anyway. Like, free MC is perfect, it's really, really good. Free Pot Duality. Some people cut this to 2. I still play a 3 of. Like, it's definitely a 3 of. You need to ensure you can scout first turn. It gets you out of bad hands, and it helps you dig for your traps as well. A lot of people are already saying you don't need to run traps, but I disagree entirely, seeing as the deck's a tempo deck, and you want to grind out your opponent and kill them before they can kind of make any plays. 2 upstart goblins. People avoid like slating me for running 2, but the reason I run 2 is because there's really not a lot of space left in the deck. The deck got a lot more draw power with cards I'm about to show you in the trap lineup, and when playing 2 upstart, it means when going second against Burning Abyss or a deck that specializes a lot, I can just snap side these 2 out for 2 maxis. And of course we play a 1 Rogeki for clearing boards in the mirror match, so you can kind of clear that board. You don't care about that sacrifice search because you're going to OTK them. 1 Laser Clip for absolute stupid advantage with stealth and Monolith, and turn 1 plays where you can like make a first turn Draco Sack and a first turn Rack 4 with 2 discs. And Snatch Shield, the card that definitely should not came back in January 1st. This card's absolutely insane. A lot of my friends are testing Hidden Armory in it, just so it's another way to get grab Snatch Steal. I tested to locals and ran 2 Hidden Armory and didn't quite realise how much Hidden Armory contradicts the deck. So I will not ever be playing Hidden Armour in this deck again. But Snatch Steal is just stupid. I drew it a fair few times. I probably drew it as much as my opponents did throughout the day. and it's just fantastic. It's a great card, and like the fact in the mirror match you can just take their shit and then distribute it and then just gain those advantages is great too. Trap lineup. This will be quite quick. Free skill drain. People say skill drain is not good at 3 because of the mirror match. I disagree entirely. If you're going first, and I'd probably just side out the one skill drain from going first, because if you draw the skill drain, you've got control over when the skill drain is going to be flipped up. And if they out it, they out it. Whatever, they're not outing the scout. You don't care. So you'll flip this up when you pendulum everything back. It all goes to its original attacks plus buffs if it's got any, and it just lets you 80k. It's not actually terrible. So I'd play 3 anyway. Plus it's good against rogue decks. It's quite good against Burning Abyss. It's good against a lot of things. I mean, they can still mill off their Dante, but they can't Virgil you, which is important. 2 wiretaps, because I expect there to be a lot of Satel Knight players, and Burning Abyss, and I was right. There's actually quite a lot of Shadow there, but they've dropped their trap lineup, so this card wasn't very good against Shadow, but it didn't matter. If you don't expect a lot of Satellas and a lot of Burning Abyss, then just side these 2 and main deck 2 Night Beam, which is what I alternate with, depending on tournament. Then we've got 2 Vanity Emptiness. I wanted to play 5 Floodgates, but I didn't want to play 3 Vanity Emptiness, because drawing multiple Vanity Emptiness when you're going first is just completely horrendous. Like, it means 1 MST to them trying to special summon isn't out. Like, let's say they go try special summon a monster and you go chain Vanities, and then they MST and you chain your second Vanities just to make sure their summon doesn't go through. They'll be like, okay, sure, summon doesn't go through, but they just 2 for 1 you, your Vanities are both gone. That's why I like it, just 2, because when you've got it, it's great and you don't want to draw multiples. Plus with like 2 upstarts and 3 duality, you don't have to worry about it. And also got these cards, this is like MVP of the day. I did draw a lot. There was a lot of times where I upstarted into this, or upstarted into a duality, or duality did into an upstart. That got me this. There's loads of things that happened to make this card work turn 1. It's a game 1 card or a going first card and game 3 card. This is good because you can go turn 1 scout if you go first. If you have this, or a way to have this, a monster and sacrifice, you're going to 3 for 3 yourself, so you're going to use 3 cards, get 3 cards back, put a card in your pendulum zone and pop or bounce a monster they control, or pop a spell trap, sorry. And it ensures you're going to get your scout surge by turn 1. Also the fact that you can equip a monster with sacrifice, they'll attack it, you're like, yeah, sure. It doesn't die because of sacrifice, then you can trigger this in the end phase, or they'll snatch steal your monster, and in response you can just flip this and just, like, their snatch steal goes to the graveyard and you draw 2 cards and you'll get their effects and sacrifice surge as well. The card was just absolutely insane, well worth the money I spent on them the day prior. Onto the extra deck. The extra deck isn't like a full 15 extra deck because it was only a regional. I'd already qualified. I didn't expect to do incredibly well, so I didn't do a full side deck because full extra deck because I didn't feel it was necessary and I didn't really have time to write it out. But I only took the stuff that I know I'd need if it came up. Kangaroo Cowboy, didn't summon it. Dark Rebellion, I think I summoned it once, it was okay. Didn't summon this. Didn't summon this. Didn't summon this. Didn't get a chance to summon this. I expect a lot of the Burning Abyss players to be playing rank up Astral Force so they can go to play these. And the Snatch Steal I play these is like, they can bounce back the Snatch Steal, you don't give a fuck, you're just going to play it again. Take the play these, lay this down, it's a bigger stick, and you can, like next turn you can start bouncing monsters and stuff. It's really good. Now, of course you can't overlay and overplay these if you've got a scale, but it's just good. Exciter Knight didn't summon it. Heart and Draco didn't summon it. No, I didn't summon this either. Or this. Or this. Or this. Same reasoning on M7. But it's just nice to know they're all there. Like I never use my extra deck apart from what's face up. Onto the side deck, I sided 2 Light and Mirror for Satellas, and just random decks like Lightsworn. I played 3 Satellas in a row. There were times where I drew this and I just won because of it, or I drew this and it bought me enough time to just win. So I did 2 Defusion for Shadow. I played 2 Shadow on the day. I beat them both. I saw Defusion in game 3 against the first Shadow player I played in round 1, and this just blew him up because he went to his game with a construct to kill him monster. I just Defusioned it and then he couldn't attack over or anything else and just lost. 2 Spell Shattering for the mirror match. Card's just amazing. I wouldn't side 3 because you don't want to open up too much spell trap hate and them have just loads of monsters. 1 Soul Drain. I didn't see this once at all over the entire course of the tournament, but I'm still happy it was there. 2 Night Beam. I side these out if I'm going second against any deck that's trap heavy or sides of very wins. Or like, in fact, I side this out nearly every game too if I'm going second. Because White Tap's good if you're going first, Night Beam's good if you're going second. 1 Bottomless for the mirror match. Great card. Not going to debate that. You can stop all the pendulum stuff and just fuck them up completely. 2 Shadow Mirror. I only side this against Burning Abyss if I'm going first, because you don't want to like draw loads of floodgates, set loads of floodgates, and then just violate you in the end of turn. You'd rather have cards like Night Beam that can just deal with the problem. But I side this against Shadow every time because it just wrecks them. 2 Maxi for Burning Abyss. As I mentioned, side up the upstarts. and I sided a Qliphort Cephalopod, which effectively won me a game in the last round against Bellingham, just for that little extra damage. It was just a fit. I only summoned it for style points. I had game anyway, but it's just a fantastic card. If people didn't know what it does, it's like when it's summoned by treating a Qliphort monster, gain life equal to the difference in monsters in your opponent's graveyard to your graveyard. So if you have no monster in your graveyard, they have 10. You gain 3,000 life points, and then they take damage equal to the number of life points you've gained. So you can just okay, you've got 10 monsters in your graveyard, I gain 3,000 life points, and you lose 3,000 life points. And it's a 2/8 stick that can't be targeted, and unaffected by activated monster card effects, level 7, level 6, or rank 6 or lower. So the card was fantastic. I was happy with everything in my build for the day. Things will change, like wire taps will go in the side again, light moves will go in the main again, depending on where I'm going and what I expect the meta to be. Other than that, I'm happy with everything that happened. Today was great. A bunch of us players did really well, which I was happy about, which is the main thing. Main reason I went is to represent. And wish me luck at St. Oscar tomorrow, guys.
So this has been Tim Yugioh 2 and Luke Delaney, also Team Archetype on YouTube. Hope you've enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe. Peace.